Wear swim trunks.
I'm excited. I am going to.
I'm not muted. Okay, I just saw that.
Elisa, you're not muted. We hear you mumbling.
I'm going to mute everybody right now, other than Andrea and Kim. Or actually, I'll keep Kim muted until she's ready. It's not, we don't really, I'm going to want whoever wants to chat first, go first. But basically, let me hit record. Oh, I already did. Tonight, we want Kim to share her amazingness with these killer new AMPS products, you guys. And I'm excited, like Kim, your results, I'm going to unmute you. Are you cool to share first, Kim? Does that work for you? Or do you want Andrea to go first? I think you're frozen right now. Oh, wait, there you are. Do you want Andrea? We'll have Andrea start. Is that okay? Or would you rather go now?
Sure.
You want Andrea to go?
Either.
Okay.
Sure. Let's have Andrea go so I can take care of.
Yeah, we'll have Andrea go, and then and that'll be perfect. So don't worry about it. But yeah, we're gonna have Kim share in a little bit.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yes, you do. Did you say you don't know what you're talking about? I was about to like wring your neck. I feel like this feels very hot, messy, and I don't really like it right now. But Kim is going to share about the AMP stuff, you guys, and I'm excited because I'm like, we've heard her on the Isogenics videos, and they're amazing. But I want like her to like speak to us and give us all her tips, how to talk to prospects, how to talk to our current customer base, all of the good stuff. So Amy just said, I've noticed a difference. That's right. Oh, you noticed a difference in Kim at Celebration. Yeah, me too. I mean, she keeps looking better and better. Who bought the tri-release at Celebration? You did, Allie did, Amy did. Have you guys been using it consistently? Have you guys noticed a personal difference? Does anybody want to speak to it? I'm just curious. Does it taste good?
It does taste good. I like it.
Yeah, it does taste good. Did you try the vanilla custard?
I got the chocolate. I got the chocolate, and Amy, which I like. And Amy let me have a scoop of her vanilla, and I like that one. So my next order, I have the vanilla. They're both really good.
Oh, I'm excited. Okay, good. That's awesome. Well, tonight, Andrea and I were talking a couple days ago, and she was just sharing this really great meeting that she had with someone a couple days ago who comes from another network marketing company. And I loved how she had the conversation with him. And there's a lot of points that she covered with him, or not covered with him, but when she and I were talking about it, she's like, I didn't even look up his comp plan. And I just want to assure you guys that when we're talking to another person in the network marketing industry, you don't need to be an expert on their comp plan and their products. All you need to know is what makes us Isogenics. And Andrea can elaborate on that. And she just has some things on her mind, really just about some personal things that have gone on that you guys heard her talk about on our call a couple weeks ago. And it just sort of has been full circle. And I think it's just a good thing for us to hear as we're out there connecting with people. So Andrea, do you want to just hop on and fill us in?
Yeah, totally. And I'll just be a few minutes because I definitely want to hear from Kim. But yeah, I think that, what Amanda and I were talking about on the other day when she and I were on the phone was just really about connecting. And, I've been doing I've been hearing a lot of, I don't want to use the word anxiety, but just I'm feeling like a lot of you are putting yourselves under some pressure to perform and pressure to feel like you need to meet certain quotas or do certain numbers of things. And I've been doing a lot of reflecting on this lately. And, I think that what we have to remember as professional network marketers and honestly, as people specific to this team, I feel like Amanda and I and a lot of you have worked really hard and really intentionally to create a culture within this specific team that I, for one, and I think I can speak for Amanda in this, we are so proud of. And so I talk about that because I want you guys to know that your energy and your frequency and the vibes that you put out should be in 100% alignment with who you are on the inside. And so I just want you guys to hold on to that, because if you start to get worried, or you start to have fear, or you start to live in this mindset of I'm not doing enough, I don't think that you are in the frequency of the vibrations that we want for the culture of this team. And we want you guys thinking about connecting as a privilege and an honor of what we get to do in this company and with this opportunity. So if you can let go of the expectation or the thought that you are living in, or that you are in lack, if you can let go of that and lean into really focusing on who you want to attract, who you think would just genuinely jive with what we have right here, and you focus on that, then you will meet the right people. And I really want you guys to really think on that and meditate on it, and really hold on to that space, because I don't want you guys to get distracted as to just feeling like you need to be doing something that isn't in alignment with you. I shared with you guys a couple of weeks ago a story about my former student, and I think most of you on this call know that story, about how I had this feeling that I needed to connect with him. I connected with him, and then unfortunately he was taken way too soon. And I just had another recent experience with a friend who was so on my heart for months and months and months. She wasn't somebody that I knew very well. Camille knows her. She was a trainer of ours at Orange Theory. And I just genuinely connected with her. She was a part of our community. I knew her son, her little boy went to the same preschool that my middle child went to. She was our Orange Theory trainer. She just was a really, really cool lady. And she showed up in my mind over and over and over again. She kept showing up. And so I knew that I needed to find her and reach out to her. I wasn't going to Orange Theory anymore, so I didn't see her all the time. Well, long story short, I found her. I made a way to find her, and we connected, and we had an incredible coffee date, and we reconnected. And she shared with me at the time that this was in April. And she shared with me at the time that she was going through a lot of personal issues. She was battling some really severe depression. And the fact, she told me, at the meeting, that the fact that I thought about her, that I made a point to reach out to her and find her and have this meeting with her, meant the world to her. And I was actually the first person outside of her immediate circle that she shared this really, really personal information with. And she changed me that day, you guys. She changed me. She validated to me that day that what I do here is so much more than enrolling people in my business, and that she needed a friend. And that was a really good day for me, because it really validated that I needed to pay attention to what was on my heart and what was on my mind, and that my mind is more powerful than I'll ever understand. And at the time, when she told me what was going on, I knew that was why I needed to find her. I needed to be that friend for her. I needed to be that person that she could open up to. And unfortunately, she lost her battle with depression, and she took her own life last week. And it's wrecked me, you guys. It's wrecked me in so many ways. It's been a really, really hard few days. and then throw my birthday in the middle of that and our launch party and all of that. And it's just been an emotional roller coaster. But I share this with you because the guilt that I would feel today had I not had that conversation with her in April and reconnected with her. She came to one of our Shake and Create events. Like, we reconnected, like we stayed in touch the last few months. And I didn't realize how badly her depression had, well, really, it just really never went away. And, but my whole point in sharing with this with you guys is, if we can focus on just being people's friends, right? Like, what a gift that we have, that we are in an industry where we are almost forced to reach out to people. But we want people on this team doing it in a way where we are their friends first. And if it's right for them to join us, they will come. Like, let go of that attachment. All right. So I wanted to share that story with you. And to really just pay attention. We all have intuition. You guys, we all have it. So ask yourself, how much are you tapping into it and how much are you paying attention to it? Sorry, I have a little bit of a cough. The other story that I wanted to share with you, and this is what Amanda was alluding to, is I have a former student. He's a baby. He's turning 23 next month. He's just the sweetest thing. And I actually enrolled his mom, y'all, 4 years ago. Like, he and I connected on social media. I was trying to prospect him, told him what I did. This was 4 years ago, so I was still pretty new in the company, right? And he was like, yeah. And anyway, I went over to his house. Actually, it was right before an event. I'll never forget. I was literally leaving the next day, I think, for New Year's kickoff a couple years ago. Went over to his house. I enrolled his mom. She probably asked me 9,002 questions. No joke. She ended up buying, I think she ended up getting a value pack. Like, I don't even remember. But she spent a lot of money with me. And then I don't think, like, he told me, he's like, yeah, that box sat on our floor for like 2 years. Like, she never opened it. Every time I would text her, she'd never text me back. I was like, whatever. These people are, I was trying to, of course, tell him about the business, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Well, long story short, I basically lost touch with them for years. I mean, I hadn't thought of, I would follow up maybe once a year. Like, I was like, they were off my radar. Well, a couple weeks ago, the son, my student, messaged me on Facebook, and he was like, Miss Labouchere, I thought of you the other day because I joined Amway and it made me think of you. And when I looked up network marketing, I saw Isogenics and it made me think of you. And I went and stalked your Facebook page, and I'm just so proud of you, Miss Labouchere. You have the best success. Congratulations. I'm so excited to follow in your footsteps. Hashtag financial freedom. I kid you not. He said hashtag financial freedom. And I was like, oh no. So I was like, Amika, do me a solid and meet me for coffee. Like, I'm so excited for you, but we have to talk. So he's like, okay, I'd love that. I love that. So we met for coffee a few weeks ago. And y'all, he looks great. He's a personal trainer, good looking kid. And he starts telling me about Amway and how he has to bring people. First of all, he has to give people a book. And then he invites them to a meeting. There's a meeting every single week at a hotel. And if they don't read the book, they can't come to the meeting. Y'all, he's 23. Like, can you imagine trying to, in his age demographic, trying to convince people to do this? And he's like, man, they keep taking my books and not giving them back. And I'm like, that's because they're not reading them. And why are you wasting your money on books? Anyway, we had to come to Jesus. And the good news was that he was already sold on the industry. He sees the vision. He gets it. He's read Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Like, so I didn't have to convince him on anything there. And all I had to do was ask him questions. And when I would hear him talking about what he was experiencing at Amway, I would find holes that I knew where Isagenix was better. So I did not, I think I may have even asked on the thread, like, anybody know anything about Amway? Because I was literally going to meet him like 10 minutes later. Like, I didn't Google it. I don't know what their products are. I don't know what their compensation plan is. I didn't know any of that. But I know that I knew in my heart that what we have is better. So we've had 2 meetings. He is going to leave Amway and join our team. He was on our morning call this morning. He is on our page. He is watching us. He is so excited. But what really, really got him excited wasn't the products. He's like, I don't even know if I'm going to take a pre-workout. And I was like, you're going to, because I'm going to make you, because I promise you're going to love it. What really made him make the decision, because he's actually not unhappy at Amway. He's enjoying what he's learning over there. And I asked a lot of questions, and I'll be honest, like, the things that they're telling him, I can stand behind. Like, it sounds like he's got good people above him. And I never talked badly about Amway. I just showed him the good things about Isagenix. What really got him excited, you guys, and you will hear Herb Cepeda talk about this all day long, was our compensation plan. 2 teams, unlimited depth, and you don't lose your volume at the end of the month. He was like, what? And side note, so he was like, yeah, well, we have to buy a minimum BV. And I was like, oh, well, what's that? He's like, it's 100 BV. And I'm like, okay, well, that's what we have to do. I said, well, what does that cost you? He's like, about $300. So their minimum purchase. And then get this, then they have to sell every month. First of all, they only get paid once a month. Well, let's not even talk about that. They have to sell a minimum of 50 BV a month. So about $150. They have to personally sell every month or they don't get paid. So I just cast a vision for him. And I also, of course, showed him the Start community. You know, I was like, he goes, I like dressing up in business suits. I'm like, cool. But how many of your friends like dressing up in business suits? Think about your clientele. You're a personal trainer. Like, that should be your office. So it's really just, you know, the takeaways are, don't be afraid to ask for a meeting. I know, Allie, I think you've done this before, like, and you had great success. Like, just ask for the meeting and just genuinely ask them questions about their company. And just be, like, for your own knowledge, just be genuinely curious, because I was genuinely curious. I was like, I want to know how it works over there. And the more that they open up, you find those holes and you're like, well, that's interesting, because what we do is this. And it's going to be better. So don't be afraid for that ask, especially if you have that relationship already with somebody. Like, just go ahead and ask for that meeting and don't be afraid. And again, don't have any attachment to it. I didn't have any attachment with Ameka. I told him, I said, listen, if you choose to stay with Amway, I will be your number 1 cheerleader, because I want nothing more than for you to have success. And I will be happy to help you. I am here to support you. I am forever your teacher. But I wouldn't be able to sleep at night if I didn't at least show you what we have over here. And he respected that. And he's thinking long and hard about it. And we even had a conversation about how he wanted to approach communicating leaving with his upline, because he's genuinely worried about hurting their feelings and leaving them because he likes them. And so we talked through that. And I even told him, I was like, again, if you change your mind, it's okay. The ball is in your court. So just release yourself of the expectation, release yourself of the outcome, and just push yourself to have those conversations. That's all I got.
That. Morgan had a question, Andrea.
Oh, what's up, girlfriend? Oh, she just wrote question. Am wrong way, Stephanie.
Am is the wrong way. We can't hear you, Morgan. Let's see.
Is she talking? Where you be, Morgan?
I just saw her, but Let's see. Where's your other? You always have 2 logins. I'm trying to find. Oh, wait, here we go.
She does.
I'm going to unmute your phone. Okay.
Oh, there she is. She's there. There she is.
Okay, you got me?
I got you.
Can you hear me? Okay. My question was having this meeting, like really genuinely curious about other people, but when, because you don't want to pry, you don't want to be like, Iceberg is better all over them. When were you throwing that in there too? Like, I find that I ask a lot of questions and I'm like, well, we do this, we do this, but I feel like sometimes that comes off too pushy. But I'm just curious, like, do you kind of wait to the end? Do you ask all your questions like, hey, can I lay it out for you here? This is where the holes are, or were you kind of doing it in between?
I was doing it in between, and there was no mystery between the two of us as to why I was there. You know what I mean? Like, he knows what I do, and I don't know where your face went, so now I'm just, oh, there you are. Okay. So I think it's just going to depend on the person you're sitting with. But you could even just periodically be like, you said something that really caught my attention about, maybe how you have your meetings, or, like I asked him a lot of questions about social media. He's like, well, they don't really encourage us to use social media. And I was like, okay, can we talk about that? So like looking for those little, I was like, well, I'm curious, like, how do you feel about that? He's like, well, I don't really think I need it. I'm like, Amika, how do you know what I do? He's like, well, I watch you on social media. I'm like, mm-hmm. So it was just like finding those moments, I think, is more effective than just like receiving, because then they feel like they're prospecting you. I made it really clear, like I was prospecting him. So, or at least there to educate him, right? That's a great question though, but I think you have to just fill out the conversation. But if you can tell that they're not open to hearing from you, then you can just take that information and be like, yeah, I'm never going to go there, or hold on to it for the next person who might be in that company or might be looking at that company. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay.
Love that. I love that. Yeah. And, I think too, for people listening to this that aren't comfortable doing business meetings on their own, don't worry at all. Like, don't worry about having these meetings by yourself. That's where your upline and teammates come into the picture until you're comfortable. So don't let this freak you out if you're like, I don't even know how I would ask someone questions, especially if you're new to this call and to our team, and we're glad to have you if so. I think I see Anna. Isn't it Anna?
Anna,
yeah. Anna, who's kicking butt. And I don't know where she went. I don't
know where she went either.
I saw her pop on, not her face, but a number, but I don't know where she went. But anyway.
But I'm glad you said that, Amanda, because like you could, like a way to handle that if you were in a situation, where maybe you are learning from like you can genuinely learn about this industry from people in other companies. And I actually genuinely enjoy learning it because it's more education for me. And then, it could be something like, well, if you were ever curious to learn about, just like I've enjoyed learning about your company, if you were ever curious to learn about my company, I'd love to get you on the phone with, my friend so-and-so, or, and that's how you could diffuse that pressure to like have to answer all those questions yourself until you're confident and comfortable in answering those questions. So I'm glad you brought that up, Amanda.
Yeah. And two, the more you just need to be armed with, if you are asking these questions and you're doing it by yourself, knowing again what Isagenix is. And like, to me, there's like 5 things that stand out, maybe a little less. Is one, with Isagenix, we have unlimited depth. Okay. And being armed and knowing that is everything. Unlimited depth, right? That's not common. The second thing is we don't lose our volume. It's not flushed out monthly. The third is we don't have to pay extra for a website. The fourth is what we just learned from Andrea. This dude had to pay $300 a month, and if he didn't sell anything, he loses everything. Like, what? The fourth thing is they don't have a product community page like we have. They don't have the community at all that we have. So we have so many opportunities just to ask questions and just to educate and share what's working for us. And we don't have to be an expert to say that. We can just know enough to be dangerous. And that's kind of what I do that's how I've been successful in my career. I'm going to be honest. I know enough to be dangerous. I'm not a master at all of the things. Guess what? You're going to do great as long as you know enough to be dangerous and you're confident.
Yeah.
So
I asked him, I was like, so what if you have somebody in another state? Like, how do you plug them into a community? He was like, well, I just look for a meeting in that area. And I was like,
oh man,
I literally opened my back office and I was like, see this girl? She lives in Ohio and she enrolled this girl who lives in Maine, who enrolled this girl who lives in New Hampshire, who enrolled this other girl who lives and I was like, they all contribute to my income and they live all over the country. And he was like, like he was just dumbfounded, and I said, but I have an incredible local team as well. I said, but I'm not going to limit myself to people who I can bring to a meeting. Like that just blew my mind. I'm like, he was like, well, we've got this guy and he enrolled like 10 people in like 3 years. And I was like, do you hear yourself? It was like, I was trying to be nice, but it was just so, like Stephanie said, just antiquated. So it's just, we have such a good thing here, not to mention we're like a really old company, like really old.
Well, if anything, it just gives you affirmation, like not that you need it or anyone on this call needs it, that we have the best of the best of the best. And that's really awesome. I love that. I love those shares. I want to jump into Kim, who we're dying to hear from. Kim, you did such a great job. I love they selected, like there was a lot of people that did their little home videos. And Kim, how many were there that were test pilots for the new AMS products? Do you know?
Yeah, so we had about 30 people in our group. And so I have to tell you backstory. So I got an email from corporate, and I thought it was an email to invite me to a test group. The ones that, I forget what it's called, but they say, what flavor, if we were to choose a flavor, which flavor would you like? I don't remember what it's called, but I thought this was fun, so I ignored it. And then we're driving home from California, and I see another email from corporate, and it's like, do you want to be part of this test group? You need to sign this non-disclosure form. And I was like, yeah. So I pulled over the side of the road. They needed to have pictures done with like an hour. So we stopped at the truck stop, took pictures in a truck stop bathroom. My mother-in-law took my picture. But now I'm known as truck stop photo girl within the group. But there's 30 of us. I get in the group and I realize everyone in this group is team isogenic, or they have been a previous IsoBody finalist. And there's about 3 or 4 of us that didn't fit those categories, but the rest of them were all professional athletes or just like total badasses. So I'm wondering, what the heck am I doing in this group? But yeah, there was 30 of us, and so it was kind of a shock when they picked my video to use for the big promo. That was
so awesome. You did so good. Like, oh my God, I love that. I love that you were in a gas station bathroom. That's perfect.
Yeah.
So fill us in. Like, there's these you just share what we need to know and what you want us to know.
Yeah. So I've done a couple lives because I feel like there's been a lot of questions and a lot of confusion kind of how to use the product. So maybe I can address a few of those real quick. And then corporate kind of talked to us about how to market this product to everyone and what their push is. And you can kind of see it. You can see in the training video how they want us to push it out. So they really want it to be for any person doing any sort of physical activity. They want it for the professional athlete. They want it for the person doing workouts at home, even if it's just chasing your kids around the park. Like, if you're active, these products will benefit you. And that's kind of their big push with it.
Okay.
So we have, the 2 new products. We have Tri-Release, which was, released in Canada earlier. So we've seen a lot of transformation pictures from that. And we also have Repair, which is our new post-workout. So our Recover, which was our old post-workout, is getting rebranded as BCA Plus. It's moving to intra-workout. And the reason they're moving it to intra-workout is it actually has fat burning claims when you take it during your workout as opposed to after your workout. So it still does the same thing, but they've shown fat loss from using it in the middle of your workout, if that makes sense. From the Repair, the differences with that is that it actually, I have to tell you guys, so I did a really intense workout. the week before getting these products because I wanted a baseline. I pushed myself super hard. I lifted like as heavy as I could. I couldn't walk for 3 days afterwards. And the next week we took the products. We had been taking for a couple of days. I did the same exact workout. And I was a little sore the next day, but I could actually do a really intense workout the very next day after taking the repair.
Awesome.
So, yeah, the repair is incredible. I've been out of it for about 2 weeks now, and I'm like dying with my workout.
It's not the same formula as Recover. It's like an enhanced Recover.
It's not at all Recover.
Okay.
So one of the main ingredients in it is collagen. So that's a huge thing. They wouldn't tell us exact amount of collagen because it's proprietary. The collagen, black pepper, I forget the other ones, but I just remember collagen was the main thing. So that's going to really help with your joint support. A lot of the more like professional athletes who had been, NFL players, MLB players who had injuries in the past, and so they would kind of lighten their load depending on where their injury was. Notice that the injury actually felt a lot better. And I know we can't make medical claims, but they all said, oh my gosh, you guys, I could push myself harder with those injured spots than I've ever been able to before because the pain was a lot less. So that was a huge, huge thing for them. I'm trying to think of some of the big takeaways. Oh, tri-release. So I've had a lot of people ask, is tri-release a replacement for the isoline shakes and the isoline pro shakes? And it's not a meal replacement. It is a snack. You can take it after your workout. You can take it as a bedtime belly buster. And actually, corporate said that it is an amazing bedtime belly buster. It's actually more effective than Isopro as a bedtime belly buster because it has the quick, medium, and slow release on it. And I was shocked. I lost almost 11 inches over 60 days. It's from the tri-release. Sure.
Wow.
Yeah.
And when did you personally use the tri-release? Did it vary based on your day, or was it typically the same?
Yeah. So the first month, I took it solely as a bedtime belly buster. Then the second month, I started messing around with when I took it. So before doing this group, I was doing macro counting and calorie counting because I've been trying to lean out more and put on muscle, of course, with IsoBody being my goal, in the end. So the first month I did only bedtime belly buster, and then I was asking other people in the group what they were doing, and so we were kind of just sharing what we've all been using it. And a lot of people said they'd mix a scoop of the tri-release with a scoop of isoline to hit their macro or calorie goals for the day. So it wasn't replacing the isoline shake. It was just like an extra snack with more calories. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So is that what you started doing the second month? You would do one scoop tri-release and one scoop isoline?
Yeah, and it's so good. It's like ice cream that way. It's so, so good. I love the texture of it. It's amazing.
And would you continue to do it before bed that way?
So they only gave us enough to do one scoop a day. So I would usually, if I did it that way, it was more of a snack, in the middle of the day.
Okay.
A belly buster.
And it doesn't necessarily obviously need to be after workout, but it can be. So it's really just getting that in once a day, the tri-release, and you can add the isoline if you're trying to get in more calories or do the whole macros thing.
Yeah.
And tell us, in layman's terms, what is it accomplishing in your body? I know, what's the whole sexy part of why people want tri-release?
Yeah. Okay. So it's really unique for the protein market to have the quick, medium, and slow release. Usually those products are all separated out. So I'm going to probably say it wrong. Christine's so good about the ingredients and everything, and I am terrible.
We don't care. And even if you said it wrong, nobody here will know or even judge you. So
just
Christine's a pharmacist, which helps too, I'm sure.
Yes. So you have the egg protein in it, you have the whey protein, and then you have the milk protein. So typically in the market, those proteins are separated out into completely different products. This is unique that it's combined into one product. You're only taking one thing.
Okay. That's cool. And then in turn, the combined proteins together are supposed to help you lose fat quicker and gain leaner muscle, or is that what the combination is supposed to do?
Yeah. So here's kind of a benefit that I noticed and a lot of other people noticed in the group was that when you're in muscle building mode, you a lot of us are so hungry, and we really were struggling through cleanse days. Like most of us couldn't do a 2-day cleanse. We could get through one day, but not 2 days because we were so hungry. What we noticed with the tri-release is that it kept us really full and satiated. And I actually had a hard time eating enough because I felt so full with it. So like it really does keep you full throughout the day, rather than just, you're like, for my problem was before was I was starving and just eating a ton, and I couldn't like drop the weight because I was in a calorie, not a calorie deficit, but an intake, if that makes sense.
I gotcha. Oh, how many calories and how much protein and calories are in the tri-release?
That is a good question. And
Don't worry. Don't worry. Not a big deal. I was just curious how it compared to like Isopro, but don't worry. That's an easy, we can look that one up. I just didn't know if you knew off the top of your head. This is such good information. And then, so there's the 2 systems. There's the next level bundle. I'm sorry, the next level pack. And then there's the amped bundle. Are those the 2?
Yeah. So we did the next level. They had us do our group was the next level pack. So it was more geared towards muscle building and athletes, whereas the other pack was more geared towards weight loss. The first one they featured on that video, and I don't remember the name of it.
I think it's called the core bundle, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So we didn't find out the name of the packs or the products until like right before you guys did.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
I'm still trying to remember everything, but yeah, their pack, the first pack was weight loss focused. Our pack was more like muscle building, toning focused.
Which makes sense because the next level pack has all the new amped repair. It's got the nitro, right?
Yes.
And then it has the BCAA.
Yes.
So, and you used all of those things.
Yeah. So our daily, what they had us do, we committed to using, doing at least basically a 30-day pack, but just on at least 1 shake a day. I did 2 just because it was easier with Griffin. So, we did our ionics, we committed to cleansing, we had shakes, and then we did the new products from this pack. And we had to work out 5 days a week for at least 30 minutes a day. But honestly, like, I was so good. Like, after the first week, I'm like, I've got this. I like increased my workout to an hour, and then an hour and a half, and then 2 hours. And I was doing it like twice a day and doing so much more than I've ever done. Like, I felt so good. And this week I'm feeling so like beat up from not having that new repair product. Like yeah.
That's good to hear. I mean, you guys, this is helpful. As we're talking to our prospects, we have a teammate that got to test this entire system, and we have such an authentic, real story that we can share. I mean, I love this. And then the BCAAs, educate us like high level on that and why that's awesome.
Okay, this is probably more Christine tailored question, but yeah, so the BCAAs are awesome because they really help with muscle repair. And then, of course, I don't remember why they said it does fat loss if you take it during, but there's some scientific explanation, and they did post that during their training video on live.com. But the BCAAs, just help repair your muscles. And then, of course, our new post-workout is the one that helps with muscle soreness, joint stiffness. And then a lot of people notice like their skin looks better or their nails look better. And I think it's the collagen in it. Those are just things we noticed. They didn't publish that, but those were just observations of the group that happening.
So, who here has bought their system? I have, and I'm like going to do a total experiment. I cannot believe that I didn't see all your hands raised because I'm like super excited. So, and then the other pack is just the tri-release and the nitro.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense why they would call that kind of more weight loss. And, my understanding is they want that to be really paired with like a 30-day system or at least like the shake and cleanse pack or something like that, right?
Yeah. So these systems both are not supposed to be on their own. They are supposed to be complementary and like synergistic with our 30-day systems, or even, the smaller packs where you're having at least 1 shake a day. But ionics, that was a big put. Like, we had to have ionics every day. We had to have a shake every day. They still wanted us doing cleansing too. So it's supposed to work together to get the best results and, on top of a healthy diet. So they had us doing no alcohol, like no sweets, no junk food for 60 days. Celebration, I had my like glass of wine at our get party and like a big cheese pulled pork sandwich, and that was it. So it's been a long 60 days.
Well, good thing she got starved at our team dinner.
Yeah. I was like, they're all going to ask if I'm pregnant at the get party because I'm not drinking.
Oh my gosh. And then you had the worst service known to man. And then they're like, sorry, we're not going to serve you. And you're like, I'm just starving. I'm starved. This is so helpful. And, you know, if people, and correct me if I'm wrong, Kim, and I know it's getting to be late, but if people are interested and maybe they're not already a customer, maybe they're a prospect and they see everyone going nuts about posting about this next level pack. If they're just interested in that, I mean, they could get results, but it's really encouraging them to be open to the 30-day system. And if they're not, then it's maybe encouraging at least adding a canister of shake to that, right? And kind of going down that path.
Yeah, absolutely. I would at least encourage, like, if you have customers that are solely interested in this pack only, encourage them and try to push them to at least have one shake a day. Like that was a huge part of it. And I would just say, like, if you're sharing these pictures and these photos from the group that, you know, went through this test, let them know that's exactly what I did. Like what we did was we had at least one shake a day. We had ionics. We still cleansed. This just pushed us to the next level. So
yeah. That's really, really, really good information. That should make everyone feel more confident. I love that. And just everyone knows that if you guys haven't checked it out, it's 93 BV for the next level pack. So we really want them, for a couple different reasons, to add something, at least a canister of shakes, because we want them over 100 BV. Because A, we want them to be active, and if they ever want to share, that's exciting. B, we want to get that PIB match, right? 10% if it's, or, you know, you get 10% of what the BV is if it's over 100 BV. So those are all enough reasons to want to add to that pack. Does anybody have questions? Yeah, the bundle. How much is the bundle? Allie, do you know? She's typing in the chat, I think. I didn't look to see the price of the bundle. Oh yeah, $139 for the next level pack. For all those products, which to me is cheap. I don't know how much the core bundle is, which is just Tri-Release and Amped Nitro. I'm not sure. Oh, that's $89.99, and then Tri-Release is $60 alone. That's good to know. So does anybody have any questions for Kim just about these products? Or Kim, do you have any last things that you want to share?
Yeah, I saw a couple of questions earlier. One was, can you mix Tri-Release with the new, I'm going to say repair. I keep saying recover. It's not right. Yes, you can. So the flavors, what I've heard, we only got chocolate. So I feel like chocolate. Oh, so first of all, it tastes tropical. It's like a tropical kind of orange fruit punch. Like if you ever had the Hawaiian punch, that's what it tastes like to me. We kept joking, it'd be amazing mixed with vodka.
Oh.
It's so good. So I would mix it with the vanilla one. However, we did not try the vanilla during our test. We only got chocolate. But we had Canadians in our group, and they mixed it, and they said it was phenomenal mixed together. So yeah, you can mix it. Just chocolate and fruit punch might be a weird combination. Yeah. And then there was another. I think that was the two I saw, unless I'm missing.
No, I think that you got them all too. This is awesome, Kim. You represented us well. We're so proud of you. And this is like, this is your stardom to being on the stage, because I can already see it. I know our whole team can see you as an IsaBody finalist winner. So we're really, really, really proud of you, and not surprised. I was like, of course that's Kim up there. Come on. So now I know, now we all know why you look so damn good at Celebration.
I know, that was so hard. Everyone kept asking me, and I kept having to lie to you guys and say, well, it's Christine's tuna diet she's put me on. So it wasn't. It was this. It's been amazing to do it. And real quick, like, I just wanted to add something to what Andrea said. So during Celebration, I don't know if you guys noticed, I was sneaking off a lot, but it was for this group. And I got to talk to Blake Shaver for like about an hour and a half. And he kind of said the same thing, Andrea. Like, he said, the best piece of advice I can give you, with spreading the word on this is just to be yourself, and be authentic in who you are. And it's when people can actually authentically connect to you, that's when you're going to make the most impact. And if you are not able to be, like kind of what Cameron talked about on stage, like when you're too fake, people can't connect with that. And so it just kind of resonated. That was something Blake had shared. And I thought
I love that. And I can't wait, Kim, to see how this launches you to help more people. Because what a beautiful platform you have right now, more than ever, with just being highlighted and all of this. So my challenge to you is to own that and to really be in your power there, because you have a real opportunity, a massive opportunity to give back. And I like to think of it that way. We're giving back. And I think the more you can, I'm just giving you like a little to what I don't know, coaching right now, but the more you can go back to sharing your vulnerable story from the beginning is like, and you do a great job of this, but I think now more than ever, I think that's what's going to really open up people's minds, is kind of remembering how it was before. You know what I mean? Because now look at you, like you're a true testimony of these products. So really excited for you. And guys, this is a great call. I want to just, next week, what we're going to do, did you guys check out that 12-minute Emily Vavra video that she did on the connecting tips? Did anybody see that? It was posted on our page. It was posted on the Isogenics business page with our IsoLife plan, the week before last. Okay, looks like not many people have. It's a phenomenal 12-minute video on her connecting tips. It's like what we all preach and what we all love, which is all about being simple and not overthinking how to connect. So what I'd like for us to do is, before our next call next week, watch her 12-minute video. Can you guys all commit to sending 10 messages between now and Wednesday, taking her advice on her connecting tips? Can we all do that? Because what I think would be really cool is next week, I just want to share. I want to go around and I want to hear what your messages sound like. I want to hear what you heard that was positive. I want to hear maybe some no's you got and how you overcame it. And I just want to talk about what worked and maybe what didn't, but how we learned from that. So I'm going to post, I'll post it tomorrow since we're going to probably go to bed. I'll post the video tomorrow, and let's just commit to sending out 10 messages, and let's talk about it next Wednesday. So come with your examples, and let's just get excited, because that's what this is all about. The one thing too that I heard on an Eric Worre, I'm really into listening to Eric Worre's podcast right now, and I'm finding that I don't know how to explain it, but he's just like a very simple person with like what our industry is. He makes me appreciate our industry probably more than anybody I've listened to. And I don't even actually want to say he's old school, because he's all about social media and everything. But someone had asked him on an interview, what would you have done differently as you were starting your network marketing business? And he said, I would have been outrageously excited to the point where like people were like, I don't know what he's so excited about, but I'm in because he's so flipping passionate. Like, I don't know what he's like. They were just so into, like, he was so like, you just be unapologetically so excited. It's like radical. and he said, I would have been messier. I would have just, and I love that. So I want to encourage you guys just to be messy. And, that's what it is. That's just what we're doing. We're being messy and we're learning from it. And he said, it's harder to be one toe in, one toe out than it is just to be all in and saying, I'm doing this. It's actually harder to be like teetering. So let's not teeter. I know a lot of you are not teetering. Some of you are. Let's all jump in together, because it's a lot easier and more fun in that space anyway. We'll watch the video. Andrea, thank you for your incredible shares. Do you have anything you want to add to wrap us up? No? Well, I love you guys. This has been fun. I love seeing your faces. Kim, thank you so much for the beautiful shares you have done. Awesome. We're so proud of you. And we will see you guys next week. Love you. Mwah. See you guys.